1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Do I start counting?
Right.
Right,
What?
you just...
No,
he said on the
but
second
no,
one.
no, it's in- no,
listen.
no,
He said on the second
Wait,
one.
did you actually join
So
late?
as soon as he
Am I
went
gonna
1,
do
2,
it
3,
again?
4, the second time he said that 1, 2, 3, 4 was when you were meant to join.
Oh.
So when he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, that's when you join in on the next one.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to XRS Plus, the official podcast for X Racing Series. We are back here. You're seeing it just like me. The template of this video is not orange as usual. It is red. We're back with a quick fire interview. This time we're hitting the double. We're bringing in two people that are big names in the league, and for two very different reasons as well. It's going to be very interesting to talk to both of them. We're going blue today. We're going across to the Williams garage. We're going to be talking to Millard 17 and Liam 70 V3. How are you doing, boys?
Yes, come on the boys. Yeah, not bad, have you, mate? Not bad. How about yourself?
Not bad, mate. I'm very excited about this one. This is going to be interesting. I'm gonna say, I think it's fair to say, both of you had difficult season ones for different reasons. They didn't really go to plan to where I think everyone expected them to go. You were definitely both favourites to win titles. Neither of you came out with one. It was a bit wobbly.
Yeah.
I'm going to start with you, Mel. Tell us in some way, without going into enormous detail where people start questioning things, tell us your story. What happened?
Well, first of all, it's a pleasure to be back on the podcast. I've been on the podcast before. It was a very enjoyable experience, and it was an honour. Season 1, yeah. Obviously, I was McLaren TP. I was pushing my team as hard as I could. We were getting the results. Still improvement was to be made in terms of some divisions, but I was happy. I was in a good team. I was making good new friends, which is a good thing to have in a team, is loyalty and friendship, which I was making with McLaren. And not only that, in terms of my driving, I was winning races, and I was leading the championship. And then obviously it came to a point where I had to step back from racing for a while, and then stuff behind the scenes got brought up as well, which postponed my coming back. But the main thing is I'm back now, I'm racing, and I'm representing Williams, which for me is massive. Williams obviously, they used to be the team in F1 that everyone talked about. Obviously they're not anymore. Red Bull is. But I feel like with the Williams team that is in XRS, we have the potential to bring Williams back up to the top. And I feel like it would be too good of an opportunity to miss with the lineup we have.
Absolutely. Liam, on the other side, for you, obviously you didn't take a break from racing, but you were definitely the favourite to win the title in Division 4. What's your story? What happened?
Well, obviously, when Mill was TP at the start of the season, I think it was like the first 6 or 7 races, something like that. And I was pretty good then. I had about 5, maybe even 6 podiums in them 7 races. And obviously, it was looking like I already had the championship won. But then as soon as he got banned and we had a new TP, which at the time was obviously Blake, I feel like everything just started slowing down in the McLaren garage over there. And as a result of that, it also affected the way that everyone else was driving, due to not having a proper TP, as Blake was obviously focusing on his title fight as well. So it was kind of like everyone was driving for themselves instead of having the team around them. And then obviously, I went on quite a bad streak of having about 4 P16s in a row. Some were my fault, some weren't my fault, but it happens. And then when I got P2 at Kota, thought it was a little bit of a comeback. And then obviously Singapore came around, and the rest of that is history, innit?
Of course, it's fair to say it's difficult for you guys. Going into Season 2, you've both been moved up from your original divisions. Of course, Mill, you're up to Division 2. Liam, you're up to Division 3. And obviously that could potentially be threatening for you guys being around faster drivers, especially since how well you performed in the divisions you started originally. However, you have both taken to it very, very quickly. Mill, you taking pole in Silverstone. Liam, you're getting back-to-back P4s in Silverstone and in Austria. And of course, both of you, curiously, signing for Williams. I want to know, was it just availability of seats? Why did you pick Williams?
I'll answer first, Liam.
Yeah, go on.
I mean, in terms of the moving up, I feel like drivers, they get moved up, they get comfortable in a division, right? And then it comes to that point where they're quick enough for the step up. But because they're so comfy in a division that they've gotten too quick for, it's like, oh, they're panicking. I'm in a higher division against new drivers who are my pace, if not quicker, and they panic. But the way I see it is, the more divisions you climb, the better it is. You know, the Division 1 in XRS is where you want to be. It's the top division. If you're in that division, you're representing the league in a way. And any other division below Division 1 is practice to get to Division 1. That's how I see it. So me moving up to Division 2, obviously I was winning races in Division 3, don't get me wrong. But the competition in Division 2 is, I've never seen anything like it. I'm pushing every week. I'm having to practice more. And if you want to improve at the game, that's what it takes. Liam's got so much potential. That's just why I had him at McLaren. And I've been trying to push him to get that potential out of him. And him moving up to Division 3 is what he needs. I could see him being in Division 2 at some point. But yeah, the main goal is Division 1.
Liam, what about you? Moving up to Division 3, how do you think you've taken about it? Because obviously you had quite a poor result in Monza, finishing at P11.
Yeah.
But then, since then, you've really pushed up and you've been getting some big bag of points for Williams.
Well, yeah, obviously when I was in Div 4, everyone was saying, you know, I'd be up there in Div 3, obviously probably higher than a midfield runner, but not quite at the top. So I was feeling quite good going into Div 3. I knew a couple of faces like yourself, Matt, and all that, and I knew what to expect, so I wasn't feeling too much pressure going into it. And there was obviously not too many expectations, because you're not expecting a newly promoted Div 4 to be in the title fight, are you? So I was feeling quite good, and then Monza came around, poor qualifying, and I was, you know, feeling it a little bit. Then I go into the race, and it was even worse. So I decided to switch it up for Silverstone, and go back to my aggressive driving style, which worked quite well. So I took that into Austria as well, obviously making a double overtake. If you guys don't know that, you should go watch the highlights. There you go, on the YouTube.
Facts.
Yeah. And so clearly this aggressive driving style's come back to working like it did at the start of Div 4. But as a whole, like, I don't think I've done too poor in Div 3 for a start. Obviously I'm missing Brazil, which is going to be quite bad in a short season like this. But I think I could definitely get, I'd say top 6 in the championship. I'd be happy with that, 100%.
Yeah, fair enough. Looking over Williams' lineup, I mean, the first thing 100% to note from them is that they were predicted by both me and Raven to finish P10 in the OCC. I believe they finished, where did they finish last season? P8?
Something like that.
So not only did we predict them to take a step back, but if you cast your mind back to the start of season 1, they were actually up at the front. They were looking at P5, maybe breaking into the top 4 in the OCC, and they really fell back. Why do you think that is? Because they've had the same TP since the start, and what made you think, okay, maybe I can see a future in this team?
I mean, in terms of last season, I wasn't too familiar with what was going on around Williams. Obviously, I was still in and about McLaren, and I'm aware McLaren and Williams have some sort of thing going on. But I wasn't too involved with Williams last season at all, to be honest. So I don't know how they did in terms of performance this season. Obviously, I saw the predictions by you and Raven. I saw Williams were bottom, and I had joined the league again, seen there was a seat open in Williams, and I was like, you know what? Let's give it a go. They've been predicted last. Let's see what this team can do. The team that's predicted last every season is always the dark horse, because it means more to them to get good results. If you've been predicted last, then you should want it more. Which is the mentality we have this season anyway. And in terms of the TP, he did a fantastic job last season. Credits deserved. This season the same. He's a great guy. A bit slacking at times this season. There's been ups and downs within the team this season. Stuff could be better, could be worse. In an honest point of view, there's some divisions that just aren't getting points. There's areas that aren't being noticed, whereas I noticed them. But like I said before, there's too big of a potential in Williams to waste it, and I feel like that could be the case.
Well, speaking on you, Mil, I mean, you originally at the very start of the season when we did the predictions, you weren't actually signed to Williams. Liam, of course, however, was. Both of you came through, become two of probably the highest scoring drivers in the entire team. Williams currently sat 6th, not only 5 positions ahead of where we predicted them, but only 1 position and 32 points behind your former team in McLaren, both of you.
Yeah.
What's the way going forward? Are you looking to beat McLaren? What's the target? And is Williams a future thing? Is it a long-term thing? Or is it a stepping stone to get back into your previous form in a top team?
Well, I mean, I'll keep my answer short because I want to give Liam some screen time. But, I mean, I don't know what Liam's priorities are in terms of Williams. Whether you use the team as a stepping stone, or you see a future Williams. The goal this season, from the information I know and what my plans are, the plan this season is get the best results, get the best budget the team can possibly get for next season, and then from next season, then we build, then the team grows. That's the main goal. In such a short season, you have to make the results count to get a good budget for next season. Obviously, I'm only a driver within Williams, but any team I'm in, I care for the team. I'm engineering a lot in Williams, and I want us to be in a good spot for next season. I mean, you know me, Avi. I've got very high standards wherever I am. I expect us, if things are going the way they are right now, and it will get better, honestly, top half is the priority. Top half, if not top 4. That might just be me with high standards, but
It's really interesting to see. Liam, what about you? Do you see a future in Williams, or is it a stepping stone to go back to a top team like you were previously?
Well, obviously, originally I was hoping to go back to McLaren, as you both know. We didn't know how that turned out as well. Also had the offer from Haas, who were obviously doing mid, they're like second. And then obviously I didn't reply to Asteroid at that moment. I was like, yeah, I'm going to see what other teams would offer for me. And then obviously he signed Phelan and CGM. So there was only really like the lower half teams offering with like Williams, Aston Martin, and all them, lower teams that you don't really want to be in if you want to make a name for yourself. So I just chose Williams out of them because obviously they've got the link with McLaren, and I thought that could be my way to try and, promote myself back into McLaren from Williams, and as a way to, get back in the good books of Cammy. But as these like 3 races have gone past, I've actually, got quite like I don't know how to say it,
soft spot.
Kind of like, yeah, but I've got a little bit of a soft spot, yeah. And I'm kind of enjoying Williams as it stands. Obviously, there's some areas that could be improved, but that's for the TP to decide on, and whatever he wants to do to act upon them areas to help Williams become a better team. It's all up to him at the end of the day. Like, I can't choose where he makes improvements on the team since I'm only a driver. But yeah, I definitely could see a future at Williams. But if a top team comes knocking at the door, definitely not going to turn them away. Like.
So, Mil, you seem very, as opposed to Liam, you seem very, very stuck on this Williams idea in terms of the future. I remember when you rejoined the league, obviously the options were limited. It's fair to say it was at the end stages of the the end of season break in the window where most of the seats have been filled. Came through to Williams. I know you being a very competitive person. A lot of your comments seem to be very managerial. What are your go-tos with that? Do you look to take a bigger role in the team?
I mean, I think it's
because it's fair to say in the last season for sure you were listed as one of the best team principals of XRS history, and in your time there was only, in retrospect, quite short. It was around 6 or 7 races, as Liam said. In that time, McLaren were running P2 in the OCC, big gap to P3, and you were fighting up there with Ferrari. Until that ended, I mean, they dropped back. They lost the position to Alfa Romeo and nearly behind AlphaTauri as well. So you've proven what you can do at a front running team. Do you look to take that managerial role in Williams?
I mean, going back on your previous question and then following on to one you just asked, I mean, obviously most DPs will say results is the most important thing, development. I mean, I've said it to my previous drivers in McLaren, like Techaby and stuff, who I'm still talking with. For me, the main thing in a team is loyalty. And then you build from there. Obviously, Williams brought me in. They had one seat open. And Williams took me under their wing when no seats were open. And at first, I wasn't quite sure. I was like, Williams, is that really good for my career in terms of legacy? Because, I mean, going about random teams isn't really good. And I thought about it. I considered it. And I thought, you know what, I'll give Williams a shot. And they took me in. You know, I was recently brought back into the league, moved up a division. So it was a massive risk for Williams to take, and they brought me in. And that, for me, is everything. That is loyalty. And I'm just proving the loyalty back. I'm trying to make the team the best it can be, off the track and on the track. I'm not the current TP, but my experience in being a TP helps, because I am doing stuff like that off the track to help the current TP.
And the final question for both of you, and this is a bit of a... it's actually an interesting one, actually, because especially based on both of your stories, do you see yourself fighting for a future championship? Do you see yourself winning a future championship? Because you both got very close last time.
I'll let you answer this one first, Mill. Again, go ahead, La.
Can I answer for Liam and for myself? Can I answer if I think Liam can win a championship? I want to make this public.
Don't think that was the question, but go ahead, La.
I want to make this public. In terms of Liam can win not just a championship, championships in a higher division than he's in if he puts in the effort. Just all he needs to do. Liam is a championship winner if he puts in the effort, if he's dedicated. Which the same goes for any league racer. If you put effort into anything and you want it bad enough, you'll win. Obviously, I was on par to win the championship in Division 3 last season. Didn't end up winning it. Could I see myself winning a championship in the future? Yes. Constructors, yes. But the main goal is the team.
Do you think that could be this season?
I'm not focused on my own performance this season. Obviously, my main goal at the start of the season was try and perform well in Division 2, try and create eyes for other teams to see if any other team would want me, until I sort of got to know the Williams lot. But for me, this season is more on helping every other driver within Williams get the best points they can. Again, like I said, to get the best budget we can next season. And to help out the people in Division 3 and Division 4 below me.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, thank you very much, lads, for joining me in the third episode of QuickFire Interviews. I very much look forward to seeing you guys heading into Brazil. First time XRS are heading across.